want to show you how you can visualize the payoffs to debt and equity based on the market value of the firm. So the priority when it comes to receiving payments is debt is ahead of equity, senior debt is ahead of junior debt. So if the value of the firm is less than the amount of debt, then equity holders receive nothing. If the amount or if the value of the firm is less than the value of the senior debt or equal to the value of the senior debt, then junior debt doesn't receive anything either. So let's take a look at how the payoffs look for different values of the firm. And then once we plot this, you're going to see it looks very much like option payoffs. So for the senior debt, the payoff is going to be equal to, we're going to use the if function. If the market value is less than 30, then they're going to receive the whole value of the firm. Otherwise, they're going to receive 30. And we can copy this now by dragging and holding this, or you can just move over here and double click. And you can see that when the value of the firm is 10, they receive 10. When it's 15, they receive 15. After it gets higher than 30, they just receive 30. They don't receive anything more than the face value of the debt. The junior debt doesn't start paying off until senior debt gets paid off, so they receive 0 up until we hit 30, and then we're going to use that same if function. If the market value is less than 70, then they're going to receive the market value minus 30, and then after that, once they get to 70, they're simply going to receive 40. So let's see if I put that in correctly. Let me copy this down a little bit. And this looks good, right? They get, if it's 30, value of the firm is 35, senior debt gets the first 30, they get the next 5. Once it hits 70, they've been paid off, they've got their 40, so they don't get any more. It just flattens out. And then equity gets the maximum of 0, or the market value minus the value of the debt, which is 70. So when it's less than 70, they don't receive anything. And once it's greater than 70, they receive everything. So we've got these numbers here, but it's not very easy to see what's going on here. Let's see if we can graph this. I'm just going to highlight these columns, and I'm going to go to recommended charts. And I'm going to choose this one. And let's see what this looks like. So let me see if I can move this over here somewhere, and we'll take a look at it. In fact, let me make it just a little bit smaller so it fits the screen a little better. All right, so here we have these payoffs. Let's look at one at a time. So it might be a little bit easier to see it. So first, let's just look at senior debt. So senior debt receives the whole value of the firm up until we get to 30, and then it just flattens out. And this payoff picture looks very much like selling or writing a put option. Let's take a look at the junior debt payoff. Junior debt here receives nothing up until we hit 30, and then they get the value of the firm minus the 30 up until we get to 40, and then it flattens out. So this looks like a bull spread with the two strike prices at 30 and 70. And then let's take a look at the equity payoff. The equity payoff looks like a call option with the strike price being 70. So below 70 they receive nothing. After 70 they get everything. They get the value of the firm minus the 70, minus the exercise price. So this is a good way to sort of visualize how things get paid off. Again, we can look at all of them together. It's a little messy, but you can get an idea of things. You see here, this is the senior debt. They get paid off first. Junior debt doesn't start getting paid off until senior debt gets paid off. And then equity starts getting paid off after both of these have flattened out or both of these have been paid off, and they get the remaining portion of the firm. So sometimes you'll hear that what equity holders have done is they've sold the firm to the debt holders, and they own a call option with an exercise price equal to the value of the debt. Once the value of the debt is reached, right, the strike price, then everything else belongs to them. So this is a pretty good way to get an idea of what the payoffs look like for debt and equity, and if you have two types of debt.